day, everyone. I am Apple May P. and this is the privileged speech on the House of Congressman. Privileged speech on the death penalty. In 1987, the Philippines set an historic precedent by becoming the first Asian country in modern times to abolish the death penalty for all crimes. The move formed part of a determined effort to restore respect for human rights following the ouster of President Ferdinand Marcos, the new government, President Corazon Aquino, the new government of President also promulgated a constitution with a Bill of Rights, established an independent Commission on Human Rights, and acceded to the major international human rights treaties. Today, more than 400 people convicted of capital offenses are held on death row, and a newly constructed lethal injection chamber stands ready adjacent on the National Penitentiary at Muntinlupa, with an average of up to 12 people being sentenced to death every month. The Philippines, in less than 4 years, has gone from an abolitionist position to having one of the highest sentencing rates in the world. The Supreme Court has begun its review of this sentence, and the first execution by law possible after February 27, 1998 could well presage a flood. At one time, the Philippines standing against a regional tide towards the increased use of its own nationals facing execution overseas, stood as a positive role model in Southeast Asia. Today, it risks losing that status and undermining its ability to protect Filipinos on death row abroad, who may have been unfairly convicted. The decision of the Philippine Congress in late 1993 to reintroduce capital punishment of crimes was founded on the sense of public fear and frustration at spiraling rates of violent crime. With public faith in the effectiveness of the criminal justice system at the low ebb, the reintroduction of the death penalty was portrayed as a symbol of the authorities' determination to dispense justice effectively, to respond to the suffering of crime victims, and to get toll on criminals. The death penalty also carries a manifest risk of miscarriage of justice. No criminal justice system in the world is immune from errors, and that of the Philippines is no exception. A single error that culminates irrevocably in the execution of the innocent person would represent a shocking failure of justice, in effect, a judicial murder. The risk of judicial error is sharply increased if torture or ill treatment of criminal suspects is used to extract confessions, such as grave violations of human rights are prohibited by the Philippine Constitution and by the key international human rights treaties, to which the Philippines is a party. In April 1997. An international delegation visited the Philippines and gathered testimonies of some of those prisoners awaiting execution. The interviews conducted revealed allegations to legal methods used by law enforcement officers of extra confessions, including treatment and torture. The allegation of the death row prisoners were consistent with patterns and types of torture and ill treatment by police, reported by other criminals, suspects, and prisoners. That's all. Thank you.